നമസ്തേ. കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ ആദരണീയനായ ബഹുമാന്യനായ ഗവർണർ ശ്രീ ആരിഫ് മുഹമ്മദ് ഖാനാണ് ഇന്ന് നമ്മോടൊപ്പം അതിഥിയായി എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. സമകാലിക വിഷയങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് നമുക്ക് അദ്ദേഹത്തോട് സംവദിക്കാം.
Thank you very much.
ഹാർട്ടി വെൽക്കം.
बहुत धन्यवाद.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, you are very busy, I know. Sir, normally governors are sitting idle in Raj Bhavans, but you are interacting with people, you are interfering into issues, and you are actively communicating with the media. Normally governors, they are running away from media. What made you redesignate, restructure governorship?
Not really. I have not tried to restructure. What according everyone does, Pirkirti Yanti Bhutani, each one does things based on her or his disposition, which comes naturally. So my understanding of the role of governor, the duties of the governor, they come from the constitution, the oath which I have taken. I have taken oath to protect, preserve and defend the constitution, the law, which includes its spirit. That is as far as my role as governor is concerned. But there is an additional role which has come by convention, and that is that because the world over a principle has been universally accepted that there should be no executive interference in the functioning of the academic institutions. They should be free from executive interference. Therefore, in India, the instrumentally which was adopted was to make governors the chancellor of the higher educational institutions.
Okay.
And there my role, if I am the chancellor, in fact, even before I give you my perspective on that, I would like to quote Dr. C.N.R. Rao, who is the topmost scientist of our country, very old, but he is the topmost, Bharat Ratna, topmost scientist. He said here in the Raj Bhavan, before so many people, he said the problem with the universities is that the government provides the money, but they do not have the power to discipline the university.
Okay.
That power is with the chancellor, and chancellor is governor. So normally, because he is not responsible directly for any administration, therefore he presumes that even in universities he should not take any direct action. Therefore universities are going haywire. This is what Professor C.N.R. Rao said in this room, in front of so many people. He said, the chancellors, if you want to bring discipline to the university, if you want them to improve the academic standards, then chancellor is duty bound to play proactive role, because discipline, providing money to the universities is the duty of the government. But governments, to respect that principle, that there should be no executive interference, government has not been vested with the power to discipline the university. So this distinction must be appreciated. And Vice Chancellor, he was sort of pleading that Chancellor should play a proactive role. And in one of his letter, which he had written to my predecessor, Justice Sadashivam Sahab, he has written that about Kerala, because he was made chairman of the Chancellor Award Committee. He wrote that Kerala has the most robust school education system. But all the bright students which pass from Kerala schools, they migrate to other states. Not just abroad. Delhi, national institutions, Tamil Nadu, other the bright students, they don't want to stay in Kerala. And he said that the schools are of very high standard and universities are just being ruined. This he did not write to me, he wrote to my predecessor.
Okay.
That is more than 4 years back. Professor Panikkar wrote an article only recently, about 6 months back. Former Chief Secretary Jay Kumar Sahab sent that article to me in a magazine which was devoted to the Kerala, in a magazine which that particular issue was devoted to Kerala. On the state of education in Kerala, Professor Panikkar, former Vice Chancellor of MGU, former Chairman of the Higher Education, he wrote, words were different, but he wrote exactly the same thing. And last year, while giving Chancellor Awards, I quoted both of them in the presence of the Chief Minister, here in Raj Bhavan, in my speech. I quoted both of them. And I said, how long are we going to tolerate this situation? And this letter was addressed not only to the Chancellor, but to every Vice Chancellor. I asked them whether anybody has responded to any of the suggestions which Professor C.N.R. Rao made. No. Why? Because here, every university, you go and find, it is your duty as a media man to find out. Universities are not being run by the Vice Chancellors. A syndicate member is nominated by the powers and he controls the Vice Chancellor. He tells him what to do, what not to do, because he claims that he receives instructions directly from the government. How long are we going to tolerate
Governor sir, personally, universities are ruled over by CPM.
One particular syndicate member has been nominated from among those who are members, and he is nominated, he stands identified that this is the man through whom instructions will be given. Because money comes from the government. You know, autonomy of the universities is not something which can be imposed, or not autonomy, non-interference by the executive. You cannot achieve it through law. It is a self-imposed discipline. We respect our educational institutions, we respect their autonomy. Therefore, and we want academics to develop, the minds to develop, so that we will have people with new ideas, innovative things, which can help the state, the country to progress.
Certainly.
That is a discipline which you need to impose on yourself. But here, unfortunately, there are people who claim to be academics. They are more than eager to become pawn in the hands of the powerful people. So what can you do? And they want to, and the generally attitude is to bring such people, or who are ideologically affiliated, to bring them and put them in important positions, particularly why to mince words, made them vice chancellors, so that they can be manipulated. Look at I have all respect for the assembly. They have every right to adopt any measure. I have an obligation to see whether whatever has been adopted is according to the constitution or not. That's a different matter. But look at the proposal which is now being considered. There is not a single line about the academic standards of the university. Not a single line what initiatives can be taken to help improve the academic standards. It's all about appointment of the Vice Chancellor.
Vice Chancellor, yes.
You can see what bothers the. I will give you another example. Shri Narayan Guru University was created through ordinance. You remember that?
Yeah.
Ordinance means there is some urgency. For some governor like me, who attaches great importance to education, I will sign 10 bills 10 ordinances if you ask me to do if they concern the setting up of new institutions, promoting education, I will do anything. I signed the ordinance. And what kind of urgency was there? Government took more than 1.5 years to sanction the faculty. Before the election, university was created through ordinance.
You were not discussed with.
I signed the ordinance.
Yeah.
I signed because a university is coming into, new university will come into existence.
Okay.
It will create more academic opportunities. I immediately signed. But
You didn't ask for details.
no, I signed the ordinance. Ordinance has all the details. I am telling you something different. Only after university is created, vice chancellor is appointed, he will send the requirement of the faculty. In first year, how many courses he can start. In second year, how many new courses will be added. Now he sent the requirement immediately, and it took the government more than 1 year to sanction the faculty. 1 full academic year was lost. So what is, now question comes to mind, what was the purpose of ordinance? What was the urgency? If you have to take more than 1 year to sanction the faculty, then you could have very well brought the bill at leisure, passed it, brought it to me. You are doing it through the instrumentality of ordinance, which means you want to start the university immediately. 10 times I spoke to UGC people, important people in Delhi, to help. This is a new university. Government has created it through ordinance. Please help them. Please help. They finally told me, "Bhai, kuch ho, when they will sanction, then only we can help." So what to do? The only interest is in appointment of pliable vice chancellor who can give. Universities are being treated as if they are the platform to give employment to the relatives of the powerful people.
Yes, and party people.
That is for you to say. I will say powerful people.
Okay, in
It's
the meanwhile, you,
sorry,
sir, in the meanwhile, you decided to give up chancellorship.
When?
Why?
That is what I am.
Yeah.
After I have come here, or after I assumed the role of the chancellor, I appointed 2 vice chancellors. There was, soon after I came, there was some controversy about some central act, and where government went to the Supreme Court without even informing me. So there was some. But if I had any prejudice, and there I question the government. How can you keep the governor in dark? When you want to go to challenge a law which has been adopted by parliament, signed by the president, I am not stopping you from challenging it. But at least it is your duty to brief the governor about it. Then there was, citizenship is purely a central subject. It is beyond the jurisdiction of the state assembly. You want to hold the session for this. There I had there was a different viewpoints.
Okay.
But when COVID came, everybody, other than the ruling party, many there were many people who were criticizing. I praised the government. If I were biased against them, why I will do that? I will encourage those who are criticizing me? No, I will decide on merit. On merit I decided who is to be appointed Vice Chancellor of the Health University. I have great respect and admiration for Mrs. Shelja teacher, but I ignored her recommendation. I don't want to name anybody, but when the question of the Calicut University came, This controversy continued in the papers for more than 2 months. And it was stated that this man is being favored by the ruling party in Delhi, the leaders are lobbying and all that and all that. And the other political group, they are lobbying for this man. Did I listen to any one of them? I am asking you. Neither the person about whom papers were writing that this ruling party at the center wants him to be appointed, nor the person for whom the education minister was coming to me again and again and again and again. Neither of the two was appointed. Did I take my decision on merit, or I succumbed to the pressure whether it came from this side or that side? I took decision on merit. Now possibly it became clear to them that it is not pressurized, the tactics here people are used to. They try to vilify the men with whom they disagree. They finally possibly came to the conclusion that it is not possible to pressurize this man. So Chief Minister himself came. And he made a personal request. He said, Kannur is my home district. So I will request you to give weightage to this fact and consider my recommendation on Kannur positively.
He requested, he pleaded, or he begged?
Well, you can, whatever words you, but I will say that he made a very, very, very reasonable argument, which I appreciated. That yes, Chief Minister, democratically elected leader of the state, at least in his home district, his opinion, the governor must give weightage to his opinion.
But you did wrong, as you stated yesterday.
That I will come to later. What wrong I did was not that I appreciated his argument. It was something later. I sort of gave, you can say that I gave my word, that yes. But I had already started the process of selection. The process of selection means the obligation of the Chancellor is that 3 months before the incumbent demits the office, the selection committee should start its work. Because sometimes they are not able to finish the work even in 3 months. They ask for extension. In the case of Calicut, extension I had given. So because of that, I had already set the process of selection in motion. UGC nominee, Kannur University syndicate nominee and my nominee. It had already started. It had already advertised in the papers, and the applications for the post had they had started receiving. But the date was not yet over. Now I remember correctly.
Okay.
There were still 2 days. And then I received a call from the Chief Minister saying that my legal advisor and 2 officers, senior officers whom he had nominated, that they can come to convey his message to me, or if I want some message to be conveyed, then my staff can contact them. They came with the legal advisor. And legal advisor said that you have already given word to the Chief Minister that his opinion will be given weightage. He wants the present incumbent to continue. Then why go through the process? I said, you want me to scuttle the process? I said, this is not right. Due process must be followed. But the highest legal officer of the state, Advocate General, he is of the opinion that there is no problem in scuttling the process. I said, where he has said it? He produced the paper. When he produced the paper, I said, where is his signature? Where is his seal? Where is his name written? No, this opinion he has given. I said, why should I accept that this is the opinion of the advocate? You might have written it. That possibly was not right on my part. At that stage, I should have said that who is he to give opinion? I will exercise my own judgment. That was the wrong which I committed. The moment I said, where is his signature? He said, give us little time. And they went. After 2 hours, they came back with his signature, seal and everything. Now, put yourself in my position. If I am facing a legal dilemma, formally whom should I contact? The highest legal officer.
Officer, yeah.
Legal officer is already giving his opinion. Then what to do? I have already given my word. Education minister writing a letter. And then remember,
sir,
first let me complete. Yeah. This is very important.
Yeah.
And chief minister said that the governor accepted the opinion of the advocate general. Advocate general that day itself contradicted. He said governor did not, because he knew the legal implications. I will hold him. Therefore, he contradicted the chief minister. He said, no, I have not given any opinion to the governor. The opinion was sought by the education ministry.
Okay.
But opinion was there.
And who signed? He himself, Advocate General.
Advocate General.
Yeah.
But he said, what he said was that because he can be hauled up for sending opinion,
yeah,
where I have not asked him to give any opinion. Therefore, he made it clear. He said, no, I have not sent the opinion to the Raj Bhavan. My opinion was sought by the education ministry.
Okay, okay.
He contradicted chief minister. But then, finally I was very upset that I was not upset with the appointment of the person, because I had given my word to the chief minister. I was upset that they are forcing me to scuttle the due process. What I had in my mind was that after the selection process is over, 3 names they will give me. I will consult the chief minister and I will give weightage to his opinion. That was my plan, because I have given word. So I was not against appointing the person of his choice. I was against scuttling the process. First, let 3 names come. If the name of that person is there, I will have no problem in considering. If the selection committee, what they feared was that selection committee may not include his name. Therefore, they wanted me to scuttle the process. And if they had not come with the opinion of the Advocate General, possibly I would have not scuttled. But if I disagree with them, I will also have to go to the Advocate General to seek his opinion. He has already given the opinion that the process can be scuttled. So what to do? But I realized, because of so many things, I have given my word. Advocate General is giving his opinion. I did it, but I realized that what I did was wrong. Therefore, that day I decided that again in future they may pressurize me. Therefore, I wrote to the Chief Minister, you come with an ordinance, I will sign it, you take over as Chancellor, I don't want to work as Chancellor. He wrote me 3 letters after that. No, you will continue, but you should appreciate that government also has a role. I said, why I should appreciate? I am ready to hand over everything to you.
You can do anything.
Anything. Then 4th letter came, in which he assured me without any qualification that government will ensure that there is no interference, and government will not interfere and no interference from any quarter.
He assured.
Written assurance. And that since now I am talking about it, I can reveal that text was shown to me earlier, before it was signed, that if we write this, then you will agree to continue as Chancellor. When I okayed that text, then only about an hour later that came in the form of a letter.
Oh.
And because there was no conditions attached to it, it was totally unconditional, unqualified commitment. We shall not interfere in the matters of the university.
And sir, why they violated? Do you think that?
Why they violated? They thought that now the crisis will be over. they can't change their habits. And no sense, I mean, all the complaints which come, you go through them, relative of this one, relative of this one, relative of this one, as if universities are the political fiefdom of a party, of the government. Universities are not meant for the purpose of giving employment to the powers that be. Universities are there to engage the academics, to train our young minds who have to shoulder the responsibilities of the nation in the years to come. And India has always been a land that has promoted, protected knowledge and wisdom. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore says that I love India not because I was born here, not because I cultivate the idolatry of geography. I love India because India has, through tumultuous ages, saved the living words which were born, issued from the illuminated consciousness of our children. That is our tradition.
Yeah.
For us, teacher is like God. Guru enjoys the status of God. A man, what kind of respect you will have for a man who, in the capacity of head of the, in the capacity of Guru, or in the capacity of head of an education institution, kowtows to the powers that be? He even pays, he even does not have the courage to say no to the personal staff of the chief minister. What kind of respect he can command? He has, not just he has ruined the Kannur University in a big way, but even other universities. In Kerala University this year, examination papers have been repeated. In one case, answer books have been, instead of examination paper, question paper, answer books was given to the students. And it were the students who pointed out. And then the Vice Chancellor comes with the proposal to withdraw the degrees who received degrees even before I came to Kerala. Why? This is very interesting. Why? Because system had failed.
Yeah.
And what is the note which he writes, what it says? The degrees must be withdrawn because of the moral delinquency. I called him, I said, what moral delinquency on the part of the students if your system fails? Do you know they can go to court against you for defaming them? Then he had no clue. And then I asked him, not only withdraw this letter, say sorry for it on file. How can you declare them to be morally delinquent? And then he tried to do something against which some students went to the High Court. Then this file also came into light, and High Court, Honorable High Court observed that the Vice Chancellor was absolutely right in his decision. How can you have this right to withdraw their degrees?
Sir, is Pinarayi solely responsible for this chaotic situation in the universities in Kerala?
I can discuss issues, I won't discuss individuals. But the state of affairs is absolute.
But individuals are playing, sir.
So then you should leave it to the judgment of your readers, who is responsible, or your viewers, who is responsible. I don't want to discuss. For me, this situation is unacceptable.
Do you think that Dr. Gopinath Ravindran was reappointed only for appointing Priya Varghese as associate professor?
Otherwise, how can you justify that a candidate who was ranked lowest UGC ranking list, in interview that candidate is brought to be number one? How can you explain that?
And Kannur University syndicate decided to go against you, challenge you in High Court.
Then why did they not go?
Yeah.
High Court has already stayed the decision. They should have some sense of shame. They did not go. Next day they decided not to go to the court because they are more aware than you and me of the wrongs which they have committed. They knew all that will come into light. But the candidate went who was aggrieved, and court has already issued a state order.
Why you are not taking action against Dr. Gopinath Ravindran?
Don't open many fronts at one time. First, we should settle the major issues. Then rest will take care of itself. That does not bother me. If the criticism is fair, it will give me an opportunity to mend my ways. If the criticism is unfair, that will further strengthen my resolve to clean the Augean stables. That is my approach.
After all, government passed University Laws Amendment Bill. Do you think that will help?
One thing must be clear in your mind.
Yeah.
Assembly has every right to adopt any
Yeah.
measure, but it cannot become law unless it is signed by the governor. And it is the Assembly has the right to pass anything. It is the obligation of the governor to see whether it is in accordance with the constitution, the law, and its spirit. Only when the governor is convinced that no constitutional provision has been contravened, then he can sign it to make it law, otherwise it cannot become law.
So you are not going to sign?
I am not going to say that. I will examine it on merit. And I should also make you, I also want you to know, and your readers to know, that the UGC regulation clearly says that no person can be member of a selection committee if that person has anything to do with the university or the colleges which come under it. What I have read from the papers is that it is proposed to make chairman of the Higher Education Council convener of the committee instead of chancellor's nominee being convener of the. They want to replace it by, and they want to make him member of every selection committee. And he is in office to interact with the universities and the colleges on a daily basis. Prima facie, total contravention of the UGC regulation. And Honorable Supreme Court has said universities are bound to follow the regulations of UGC. One thing I can tell you, I will sign or not sign, that I won't reply to. But one thing I can tell you with certainty, nothing which contravenes the law of the land will receive my signature.
You will go ahead with the appointment of VC in University of Kerala?
I have been doing
Started
it
procedure.
right from beginning. You have seen how many articles have appeared in the matter of Calicut University. This group is lobbying for this particular candidate, this group is lobbying for this particular candidate. I am not naming anybody. None of them got appointed.
The government claims that they are fighting against corruption on the one hand, and on the other hand, they are diffusing Lokayukta.
They must be fighting against corruption by getting unqualified people appointed to the university posts. So, you can decide on that basis. If this is the fight against corruption, then you will have to change the meaning of corruption. That much I can say.
And in the Lokayukta case,
Sir,
your powers are also.
Why go into details? Why go into details? Corruption includes everything. So the intention is clear. The intention is clear that not a single line in the proposed bill to improve the standard of academics, to create. Universities have been writing to the government since last many years. There are departments in Kerala University, departments without any teacher. They don't want to deal with it. They want only appointment of the Vice Chancellor. Let them try.
And Islamic terrorism is gaining strength in Kerala. And several youths are recruited to IS. But the government and the police is mum on this issue.
I don't want to comment on this. The only thing which I will say is that we should be careful about using the terminology which the terrorists want to be used. Because these criminals, out and out criminals, they want to take refuge under the cover of religion. We should not help them. They are simply barbarians. Anybody who does not respect the principle of sanctity of life, you may belong to this religion or that religion, but no religion, including Islam, permits that sanctity of life should be violated. Why I should give them advantage? They call themselves Islamic. Why I will call them Islamic? I will call them barbarians, inhuman. And I am fully aware that in Kerala, special efforts are being made to, because Kerala has been is sort of a society which can be described as a compassionate society. It is one state where no cultural identities, separate cultural identities are claimed. All people speak one language, they eat the same food, they culturally speaking, their folklore, their songs, their dance, everything is common. You can find people who will say this is Malabari food, this is South Kerala food, this is North Kerala food. Here nobody, I have ever heard anybody saying this is Muslim food, this is Hindu food. Well, Kerala is a wonderful state. So if you want to destroy a wonderful place, then you need to make extraordinary efforts. So I feel that extraordinary attempts are being made to disturb Kerala. And I can only say that presently I will not go into details, that whatever feedback I have received, I have alerted the security agencies. I have also had many meetings, and whatever is comes within my ambit, I try to encourage them to be more proactive and take action against such people.
What about the remarks of former Minister K.T. Jalil? Azad Kashmir, India occupied Kashmir.
My advice, my request to you is that we should not give publicity to these remarks. And I have honestly, I have grave doubt whether he understands the Kashmir. I have grave doubt whether he has read anything about Kashmir history, whether he is aware of what happened in 47. I have my grave doubts, and I won't like to give him additional publicity.
Sir, even the court directed to register a case, but
let court, but
police,
not at my level, because I believe that we should learn to ignore certain kind of attitudes, and they want publicity. I am not ready to become vehicle for their publicity.
LDF leaders say that you are acting as an RSS agent and your agenda is to topple the government.
I do not know. I do not know what they have in their mind, and there is no way I can know it. But I have already told you, so many stories were written about the pressure for the appointment of the vice chancellor. I do not know if I received that pressure or not, but if you go by these stories, then I ignored that pressure. Secondly, I have said that since 1986, I have developed a very special kind of relationship with RSS leaders. And I am a great admirer of their work in education sector. I admire the Ekal Vidyalayas which they are running to teach the most marginalized sections of the society. Even when I was invited to their headquarters, I singled out this program to praise. I said, rest I do not know. But this is something which is divine which you are doing. They are the most marginalized. And I am, not now I am saying, I have said earlier also, that I cherish this relationship. I do not take instructions from them. But I not only cherish my relationship with them, I am proud of that.
You are acting.
And when I have said it so many times, and you tell me you are doing, I have great relationship with them. No problem. When I am saying that, what kind of allegations you are making against me?
Opposition leader V.D. Satheeshan, he yesterday accused you are acting hand in gloves with the government. It's all, it is all a farce.
So one thing
it's
is
all a farce.
So one thing is absolutely clear. What the other people are saying, that I am acting. It is not only RSS. The allegation has been made. I am acting at this. The one. I don't want to use names, but I am acting at the behest of so and so, and I am also acting at the behest of so and so. If he is finding fault with me, then one thing is clear, that I am taking my own decisions.
And my final question, we are in a festive mood because of Onam, but the government and oppositions are in a fighting mode. Okay. Will it anyway, this is all going to affect the state of affairs, present state of affairs, and we are moving into a chaotic situation.
No, we will not move into a chaotic situation, and fighting should, no problem with fighting. But fighting should be conducted in accordance with the rules given by the Constitution and law. If you are following the rules, then even fight becomes beneficial for the society. Fight in democracy, we do not fight physically like they tried to do at Kannur. Fight is where you debate issues, you discuss things, you have conversation, different viewpoints, heated debates, no problem, and then something good comes out of it. So fighting we should enjoy, as long as this fight is conducted in accordance with the law of the land.
Who will win the fight in the end?
Law.
Law, democracy.
Country, state. Law should prevail. Be you ever so high, the law is above you. Nobody in India is exempted from the requirements of the law. And we should enjoy it. Why not?
Thank you very much.
Thank you
sir,
very much.
for being
And,
with us, and
well,
wishing you and your family a very happy Onam.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to say the same thing. Janam TV, Preksha Karka, Ende Hardamaya, Onam Asham Sakal.
Thank you.
Thank you.